All right, this is Mr. Burgess. Today we're going to be doing an activity called Sweet Algebra. Each of you have a paper at your desk that has these little statements written on them that are related to the bags of candy that you see in the back of the room on a table. And I'm going to help you fill out this part of your handout, but then the second part you're going to work on filling out with yourself and your neighbor. And then every group of students who's successful at filling it out and then calculating the correct number of pieces of candy in each of those bags using this activity, you will be able to come back and get several pieces of candy to share amongst you. So let's start out by saying, first of all, the teacher has X number of candies in his or her bag. So how would that look like, or what would that look like on this paper? Well, you just write the letter X there. So if each of you will write the letter X on your paper, we'll be ready for the next statement. So the next statement says bag number 1 contains 4 more than twice the number of candies in the teacher's bag. So in order to do that, that means we're going to be adding 4 to whatever is in the teacher's bag. And we know that the teacher's bag has X in it. And this says that we have twice that number as well. So we're going to complete this statement by writing 2x plus 4. Okay, so let's go to a different color here. Bag number 2 contains 3 times the number of candies in the teacher's bag. Well, if the teacher's bag contains X, then 3 times that would just be 3 times X. So far, so good. Okay, bag number 3 contains 10 more candies than the teacher's bag. Well, in that case, we would just do X plus 10, like that. Sorry, that's a 10. I got that messed up. Anyhow, X plus 10. All right, for our next bag, bag number 4 has 5 less than 4 times the number of candies in the teacher's bag. So 5 less than 4 times the number. So that means we're going to do 4 times the number in the teacher's bag. And then to do 5 less than that, we subtract 5 off the end, just like that. So that would be 5 less than 4 times the number of candies in the teacher's bag. All right, number 5. It has half as many candies as in bag number 1. So if bag number 1 is up here, so we're going to have half as many candies as there are in bag number 1, which is 2x plus 4. Now look at this real carefully. Let's use the distributive property. What's 1/2 times 2? Well, half of 2 is just 1. And what's 1/2 times 4? Well, that's just 2. So this expression will just end up being x plus 2. So don't let them throw you off, even if they have a little different wording on them. Okay, let's move on to bag number 6. Bag number 6 has 1/6 the number of candies as bag number 2. So in order to find 1/6 of something, you multiply by 1/6. So 1/6 times 3x. Think of this as 3x over 1. So if you do 1 times 3, you get 3. And 6 times 1 is 6. And then all of that's times x. So 3/6x also equals 1/2 x. And that's the number we're looking for, the final answer on that particular problem. All right, so far so good. All right, now bag number 7. Bag number 7 has 1 more than 3 times the number of candies in the teacher's bag. So if the teacher's bag has X in it, we got to do 3 times that. So 3 times the teacher's bag. And then to get 1 more than that, we have to plus 1. So 3x plus 1 would be the expression that describes that particular bag. All right, number 8 contains 4 less candies than bag number 3. So where's bag number 3? Okay, here's bag number 3 right here. So bag number 3 has x plus 10 in it. And this says that it was going to have 4 candies less than that. So we're just going to subtract 4 from this whole bag. And when we do that, we end up with x plus 6 for our final piece in that section. Okay, so let's move on to another one. Let's go back to our red color. For bag number 9, it has twice the sum of the amount of candies in the teacher's bag and 4. So this is one of those parentheses ones. So twice the number of candies of the sum of the number of candies in the teacher's bag and 4. So 2 times x plus 4. And so that's what that would look like. Now we could simplify that by saying 2 times x, which is 2x, and 2 times 4, which is 8. So that expression describes how many candies are in bag number 9. Now keep in mind, if we knew what x was, we could go through every one of these and actually determine the exact number of pieces of candy there are in each bag. And that's exactly what we're going to do in a few minutes. So bag number 10 has 6 more than 50% of the candies in the teacher's bag. So if the teacher's bag is x again, so we're going to have 50% of that would be half of that. So 1/2 of the teacher's bag. And then this has 6 more than 50% of that. So we're going to have 1/2 x plus 6. All right, so there's all of the expressions that go with each of these statements. And we're ready to go on to the second part of our discussion. So keep in mind each of these little expressions. So when you go on to the second part, it's going to ask you to total the number of candies in bags 3, 4, and 9, and let all of that equal 44. So we know that in bag 3, we have x plus 10. In bag 5, we have x plus 2. And in bag number 9, we actually have 2x plus 8. So 2x plus 8. So 2x plus 8. Okay, so there's bag number 9. Now we're going to add all of these together, and we know that they have to equal 44. So we need to solve this equation for x and find out what x equals. So let's do that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 x's if we count all the x's up. So this would simplify to be 4x. And then if we underline all the constants, 10, 2, and 8, 10, 2, and 8 would add up to be 20. And all of that equals 44. So if we subtract 20 from both sides, we get 4x equals 24. And we divide both sides by 4. Lo and behold, we get x equals 6. So that's telling us how much x is in our particular case. So what do we know about x? What is that? Well, it happens to be the number of candies in the teacher's bag. So we know that that is 6 pieces of candy in the teacher's bag. Okay, now knowing what that equals, knowing that x equals 6, we need to go through all of these expressions and then substitute the number 6 in for X and calculate how many pieces of candy are in each bag. And so that is your job for the next few minutes, is to go through that list and find out how many candies are in each bag. And then when you got your numbers, come on back. I got the answer key. You can correct, and if you get them right, then you get to pick out some candy from my bags in the back of the room. Thank you very much.